podcast is a member of WildGamesProductions.com and D20Radio.com. Original.
Yoinks! And away!
Basic.
Yoinks! And away!
First edition.
Yoinks! And away!
And then...
I says, Pigpen, this here's a rubber duck, and I'm about to put the hammer down.
Welcome to the THACO, the best damn AD&D 2nd edition podcast ever.
Come on, I want to talk about
Google
the
Plus Hangout. We could do that, but anyway.
Yeah, something like
If somebody's computer wouldn't explode.
shut up.
Yeah.
And hey, hi, folks. THACO's Hammer. This is DM Glenn. It's getting a little wild here, but here we are at Splatbook number 46, and I'm with DM Brian.
Good evening, folks, and we've got another good one in store for you.
And our exciting DM, Corey.
I got myconids between my toes.
You go.
I mean, hi, everybody.
They have cream for that, you know.
Yeah, you can take a pill.
Tonight.
Let's all say hi to DM Full On Gamer. Hey!
Hi, full gamer.
Greetings, Gamer Nation. Are we ready to get it on?
I always feel like I should throw you a steak when we
I
start.
just met you.
French meat.
All of a sudden, full on gamers become Kowalski. What do you want on your sandwich, Kowalski?
Meat. What do you want with it?
Give full on gamers meat on meat sandwich.
Oh, man.
All right, well, let's just dispense with the formalities and go into hits and grits.
What are you doing tonight? I don't know. What are you doing tonight? The burlesque, Lois Paradise, miserable and lonely and stupid. What am I, crazy or something? I got something good here. What am I hanging around with you guys for?
Hits and crits. Hits and crits. What did you guys do this week, gaming and otherwise? Okay, nothing. Okay, let's go on. No.
We recorded a podcast 20 minutes ago.
Yes, we did.
Shh, don't break the magic.
Yeah, don't show them behind the curtain. They don't need to know we're doing multiple shows.
Yeah,
I mean, we're
they know
not.
it.
But if we
Pay no
were,
attention to the gnome behind the Skype screen.
Hey, more goodness for them, you know.
with the Ferengi statues.
Yeah, with the we'll get to those later, okay? Let's see, what did I do? I already told you about it on the other show, but I'll reiterate a bit. I'm going to have a really good basic game coming up Saturday, and I sent some books to Corey, which he was appreciative of. Thank you. And that's about it. What about you, Corey?
Drew some pictures for our favorite man in wanting, Thorky. I've been working some more on my campaign, and I'm about ready to start gearing up because we kind of took a break on my campaign for the summer, but everybody keeps coming over to me complaining that they're fiending to throw some dice. So it looks like my campaign for my 2 games are merging into one, and we're going to start it up again.
That's not easy.
Yeah.
Doing what?
Just merging 2 games into one like that.
Both of them are on a ship headed to the same port in another country, so essentially they're going to get it relatively the same time, and they're all going to meet up.
Okay. So what if one is Toon and one is Metcon? We can make it fit.
Okay, so just one question, Corey. How many players?
Oh, I've limited it to 5. The first 5 people that show up get a seat. Everybody else gets to sit outside and look through the windows.
Man, you're mean.
Yeah, I'm tired of people going, I really want to play D&D. Okay, 2 weeks later, it's time for D&D. My wife needs me to paint the lawn. All right, you know what? I'm not doing D&D.
Paint the lawn?
Yeah, I get half-assed excuses why these people can't show up. My daughter has a soccer practice. Okay, do you need to sit there for 2 hours? No, but I got to pick her up and take her to ice cream. All right, you know what? I'm not doing D&D for you. You knew about this for 2 weeks. You couldn't say, honey, can you please take our baby to the soccer practice? I have an appointment. It's not like we're doing it every day.
You know what? I can partially understand your frustration, but at the same time, being a married man, you put the word wife in there, and it changes the whole equation. Well,
I understand
my wife needs me to do this. Okay, well, that's it.
Well, I can't understand why married men can't have communication with their wives and say, honey, in 14 days, I have a day that I cannot do anything else. I need this day off. But you have me for 13 days and 14 nights. Let me know what you've done.
Because you will come up with something the day before or the day of.
And that's when you go, I wear the in this relationship. I'm going to friend's house. You had 13 days to tell me this. I'm going to
And he's got a pair of pants that says on the front.
Yep. Anyways, what'd you do, Brian?
Sorry, I had to mute my mic because I was laughing so hard. I'm just not going to touch that statement. I've just been, like I said before, I'm undertaking transcribing another classic D&D module. Well, not so much classic, just old, to second edition. Also, I was looking at my list and I'm like, okay, what else do I need to do? And aside from doing monster stat blocks, and which is up on osrgaming.org, there is a.
I got a copy. Yay!
Yep. Thank you for downloading it. I appreciate it.
I threw it out, but yeah, I got a copy. No, I didn't.
You were such a nice guy. You really are. But anyway, that's what I've been doing. Like hopefully we can get all five of us can get together and do the AP podcast. And
nice.
Does
it have to be 5 of us?
Well, there are 5 players. You, Allie, Glenn.
Oh, I forgot. Alice. I want Allie there. I thought it started with a V and ended in an int. Never mind. Go ahead.
It's okay.
5
We could arrange that for you if you want.
I feel sickness coming on.
Yeah, grab that bucket to the left. Don't make a mess.
But you're a monk. You're immune to diseases.
Yeah, but this one is infectious.
Oh, that's magical.
Enough said. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah, we're doing it. Yes, and full on. What's up with you?
Well, I've been contributing to the discussion, gamer-wise, on OSR Gaming and on the Order 66 podcast forums for Saga Star Wars role-playing and Classic D&D role-playing. And by the time you all are hearing this, if I haven't, as I promised many, many moons ago, started putting up samples, examples, and bits of my Night Below props, tools, and handout bits, y'all can yell at me, and I'll continue to comply and do so on the forums in the library for OSR.
Oh, just ask and you do it. Wow. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
That is really awesome, and I almost said a bad word.
Yeah.
It's fabulous!
Yeah.
Okay, that's overreaching.
True. I did want to ask Corey, did you find those signatures on that advanced book that I told you about?
As a matter of fact, I did, ladies and gentlemen, in case you are not understanding what's going on. Glenn recently went to a convention and happened to pick me up the original red and blue D&D, what is it? Oh, BX, excuse me.
Yeah, a
books.
Bold Day Cook Marsh set.
With autographs of not only Mr. Cook and Mr. Marsh, it's got the signed autograph of Mr. Errol Otis himself.
On the cup with your name.
After I changed my underwear, I promptly put these in a nice place and displayed them so that they are quite nice. I have to say publicly thank you, Glenn, for thinking of me, and I appreciate it. And I have your revenge.
And Mr. Jeff D. and Mr. Diesel LaForce also signed them. And I believe in the red book, Diesel put a little three-room dungeon there, and I said, watch out, Corey will put it in his dungeon.
I will strive to do so in the coming campaign.
It'll have these big letters, Diesel, in it.
Yep.
But thank you very much, Corey. I mean, you're welcome, Corey.
I had revenge. I had revenge sitting here in a pile waiting to get mailed to you. So you will get your revenge.
Well, I got my set signed too. So.
Well, no, I have something else for you. But anyways.
Anyway,
we got all this jab.
We got emails to get through.
Oh yeah, we got emails. I got.
Excuse me. Us a couple of emails there.
Yeah. Okay. This first one's going to be a voicemail. I think this is from our friend Travis Harmbringer Nicholson. The vocal transcription that Google does for their voice messages is hysterical. It's almost on a level of autocorrect, but...
Oh, nice for the win.
Yeah, but Okay, I'm gonna transfer it over. So here, if I'll just play it for you.
Hi all, this is Travis Harmbringer Nicholson. I figure I call in this time and give you guys my question. One, Brian, yes, I am a blacksmith, also an armorer in the FCA. And two, my question would be, have you guys ever heard of, participated in, or seen the Iron GM Challenge? I just saw it at the local Phoenix Comic-Con, and I didn't get a chance to go, but I was just wondering, have you guys ever dealt with it, played in it, tried it, or judged in it? Anyways, that's all. Keep the dice on the table. Bye.
Thank you, Travis. Thank you for sending that in. The Iron GM Challenge. Now, I don't exactly know what he means, but there was one at EN World. Basically, they would throw like 5 elements out there, and they say, make an adventure out of it.
Wow, really?
It's kind of like Iron Chef, only with D&D elements.
Yeah, I just looked up I just did a Google search real quick, and they have a board called Robot Viking, which shows the Iron GM Regional Championships.
Okay.
And you are basically supposed to make an adventure out of 3 ingredients, so to speak, in 60 minutes.
I wonder if they have like a chairman GM there, and he has like a secret ingredient he reveals like at the last moment or something.
Yeah, a little surprise thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is it the one thing everybody keeps in their shelf that they bring from home that they're allowed to add is always the Tarrasque? What's that?
Yes.
Exactly.
And here it comes, the Onion! Da, da, da. Oh man, I don't know how they're going to add this.
Exactly. Yeah, and make it palatable, so to speak. Yeah. They're.
No, I didn't know they actually had a regular competition. Thanks for telling us that.
Yeah, this has been in existence for at least 2 years. Because the post I'm reading is from October of 2010.
Hearing this information, I just imagine a portion of a good action movie as me and full-on gamer walk into our bedrooms and pull open like this chest of drawers under the bed and slide it out and unlock it and open it up, and there's like a DM's guide there, and we just lock and load. Like we promised we would never pick this up again, but now that we've heard of this competition, it's like that section of the movie where the guy gearing up and armoring up, look at each other and be like, let's do this. Yep. Just look at each other fully geared up and be like, let's win this fucker.
Well, I can see it, like I said, the Iron Chef program where you got like one GM with the first edition handbook, Iron GM first edition, Iron GM basic, Iron GM that. Second edition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they only do it.
We don't serve your kind in here. Take that.
And the game table stadium.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I'm reading a little more info on it. They only did it for 3.5, and now they're going to switch for 4E to 4E.
Oh,
yeah.
They should do an OSR version.
But unfortunately, you know what? I have an idea about this. Thank you, by the way, for telling us about this in your voicemail email. We should maybe run one of these as a competition on our OSR gaming site.
That's a good idea. Yeah,
throw
the
a couple pieces out there. Yeah, throw a couple pieces out there and let the people reply with their own style, and we pick a winner.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that sounds good to me.
That'd be fun. Only prizes.
Then they're fat. Huh?
Everybody gets gift certificates.
Bragging rights.
Okay, bragging rights. We can do the bragging rights. I can handle the bragging rights thing. I read something like this over at the Atomic Think Tank for Mutants and Masterminds game. Well, mine went a little differently. What I did is I gave them a list of superhero names, and I said, pick one, give me a background, and if you want to stat it out, go ahead. But if you do it, you got to add a name to the bottom for somebody else to do.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And I got some really interesting backgrounds and stats off of that.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. With this competition on the OSR gaming site, essentially a new DM could walk up, see this competition, and see the entries that people have left, and it may give them an idea for a campaign.
Yes.
We're doing it as a competition, but I'm looking at Future as a resource point for new DMs.
Okay,
Kind of like over on D20 Radio where they did the Build a Threat contest, where it was just make a interesting encounter, set piece, character, NPC, something.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay, where's my secretary? Brian?
Yes, Mr. Hallstrom.
Administrative assistant, thank you.
Okay, fine. You try and sit on my lap, I'm going to dump you off.
No. You'd have to at least take me out to dinner for that. I may be easy, but I ain't cheap.
Glenn's going to give you exactly 30 minutes to knock that off.
Wow.
You got another email, Brian, before we just...
Yeah, I got another voicemail.
I'm going to load my pants if this keeps up. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't want to know. I so do not want to know.
From the back, all right?
Yeah, from the...
My days of not taking you seriously are definitely coming to a middle.
Coming to a middle. All right, here you go. This one's from one of our constant contributors, DM Joe.
Well, hello there, my fellow hammer wielders. This is DM Kojo. Hey, I got a question for you about multi-class. How exactly do you play the multi-class in regards to class restrictions? So you got your fighter mage. They can use fighter weapons, unlimited, I'm assuming, and I'm guessing no armor then, or they would not be able to cast spells. How do you go about adjudicating that as far as those restrictions, and maybe with some other multi-class restrictions, fighter cleric? Do you allow the edged weapons because they're fighter, or do you bar them because they're cleric? So just some question on that. And then my other question had to do with going up in levels and experience points for multi-class. Do they have to scale side by side with the two levels? So do I have to advance one and then the other and alternate? Or can I just advance one and let the other one kind of hang off behind? Just curious how you guys do that. Any information is much appreciated. Keep up the good work. See ya.
All right, Kojo. We got
Kojo.
this.
Okay, I basically let anybody play any kind of combination. I give many armor, and then just watch the fun of wizards in plate trying to cast spells and just laugh.
Absolutely. That's why you got them armor casting penalties when you have the armor on, and why all those fighter mages always want to get either braces or that elven chainmail. Oh, yeah.
Sounds like someone tried to steal my style.
Anyway, if Mike can do Gollum.
Well, let me say first off, thanks, Kojo, for the email. We appreciate listening. My answer first, before anybody else here gives their opinion, is it doesn't matter how we do it. It's how you want to do it. This game is basically how you want to run it. If you're the DM, you feel a wizard fighter mage should not be wearing armor, then shouldn't be wearing armor. If you think that he should have all rights to use the abilities from the fighter the wizard, this is essentially your game. If you're asking for the actual rules or our opinions, we can give them to you too. But I just wanted to put out there first to say you can run this any way you want. That's what the point of the game is. So, other than that,
and knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe. As far as the way I do it, as far as mages go, if multi-class mages can cast in armor, I just don't care. The standard multi-classes, which are usually in Player's Handbook, they, of course, can be used. You all right, Corey?
No.
What happened?
What happened?
What's wrong?
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to give a small moment of silence, please.
Alcohol abuse?
My Player's Handbook just came apart from the spine.
Whoa.
Oh,
Out of print book down the drain. Luckily, I have 7 more, but...
Hey, send it to me. I'll put it in a longboat near a lake, in one of the lakes. Take a flaming arrow and light it on fire, do the Viking
I just
thing.
opened the Player's Handbook to look up multiplayer to get the actual ruling in here, and the whole book just slipped right out of the cover. I was like,
wow.
Are you serious? This is not a Yellow Spine first edition book What are you doing?
This is not Unearthed Arcana, right?
Yeah. This is not Oriental Adventures. What are you doing?
God, don't remind me of that. Yeah, I get it. I mean, that's the first time I've heard that happen for a second edition book. I still have the Player's Handbook I bought in 1990.
I have 7 from various purchases on eBay.
Right.
This one used to belong to Joseph Demonstre and Fernando Mikanda, who both of them in their amazing retardedness put their social security numbers and the date they owned them in the book.
Are you serious?
I marked them out because I'm a nice guy, but
wow,
I did this on eBay, so I don't know who else had these books.
I am constantly amazed at the things people leave in these books when I buy them.
I didn't mean to cut off from the email. I just wanted to really know another book has gone down.
No, it's okay. It's okay. This is actually a little more interesting.
I made my 1E Fiend folio here as the RPGA information filled out with the guy's name and address.
Oh, well, yeah.
And his phone number.
Yeah, I did that too because I was paranoid. You got to understand, when I had my books back in like the early to mid 80s, people would try to steal them. I would carry around 50 pounds of 1E material with me while I was attending high school, in addition to my school books. So yeah, I did that with almost every hardcover book I ever had.
Anyway, back on subject.
So Kojo, yes, the answer you're looking for, if you're looking for the book answer, is that yes, it is allowed to have your mage get the benefits of their fighterness with the following caveats and restrictions. Armor is restricted for the wizard, so either you're suffering through the armor spellcasting penalties or you're not casting in armor at all and you're using elves and Elven Chain, they'll let cast spells in armor. Yep. But again, Elven Chain is given, found, or won, not purchased.
Yep.
And other than that, the warrior contributes freely his abilities to whatever multi-class he's forming a base portion of.
Right.
Same thing with priest. Abide by the weapon restrictions of your mythos.
Yeah.
So,
big one.
You can either stick with that and go with bludgeoning weapons only and go mad with whatever else is available, or you can go with what 99.999% of the cleric casting world did and say, you know what, the whole weapon of the deity thing is a great idea and we're going to run with that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. As far as armor for casting goes, my serious answer is pretty much by the book, because, when you got like bards who can cast spells and fight, and they only have a certain amount of armor they can wear, I can hang with that.
Right.
Or elf, same thing. Elven Chain, multi-class, it goes the same way.
Yeah.
Yes, as far as leveling up, he asked about the hit points and stuff. This is the one thing that I always tell my people who want to play a fighter, mage, thief, acrobat, ranger, bard, ninja. Everything is split.
Yep.
No matter how many classes they have, that's the number it gets divided by. Constitution bonuses, hit points adjustments. When you level up, everything is split.
We're talking multi-class here, too.
For multi-class, while you're splitting your XP, just because one particular class might hit an XP threshold and another one won't, you might have a slight offset. Yeah. In your levels as you go up, you might have a 5-5 that turns into a 5-6, that turns into a 6-6, that turns into a 7-6. Yep. That's over time as everything is evenly split. Yeah. You can't just opt to leave one class behind, level dip in it, and not go back to it unless you want to play D20, or if you want to have a human and be dual class.
Yeah, that's different.
Right. Dual class is a different animal.
Completely different.
Now, my opinion, when I do my multi-classing, I will actually pay attention to what the character does in the game. If I have a fighter mage thief, we'll say that, fighter mage thief, and the guy doesn't do a single freaking thing with his thief class, I will not tell him to put the XP in the thief's kit. None of his experience went towards his thieving abilities. If all he did was fight and cast spells, and he used the fighter's THACO, he used his strength bonus, he's not using thieving abilities, I will not tell him to put his thieving XP a third of it. I'll tell him to split it between the other two. Wow. The moment he gets 2 levels away, he starts taking penalties in the one that's behind.
Interesting.
Because if you're a fighter mage thief and you don't read books and you don't study your spells and all you're doing is picking locks and swinging swords, you're going to forget that freaking magic missile spell. It's going to be a little harder for you to cast because you haven't memorized it in a couple months.
Or if you want to really be hard-ass about it, if he's not using one of the classes, he loses it. Totally. All of a sudden, he's just a fighter thief.
Yeah.
Or just a fighter mage.
I can see that, too, but the problem with that is you got a level 7 fighter, level 7 fighter, level 6 mage, level 4 thief, and he's 2 levels away from his fighter. Now he just lost 4 levels of thieving abilities. Now do I have to subtract his and all the savings it's
subtract 4/3 of 4d6s and all that stuff.
It's a lot of algebra that you don't want to deal with.
Yeah, I'm getting a headache just thinking about it.
It's actually one of the things that D20 system and Saga Edition handled a lot better. Just free ball and add. Add, free ball and take away, done and done.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if you want to level dip and then go hardcore somewhere else, great, wonderful, do it. But that's for house rules of a later day for the 2E world that have nothing to do with what we're doing here.
This is true.
Unless you want them to.
Right. And like I said,
they do work.
It's all up to you, Kojo. Whatever you feel. If you say, I'm going right by the book, separate and divide everything, then that you can do it. And if you look on page 45 of the first printing of the Player's Handbook, it separates warrior, priest, wizard, and thief and tells you what they have, what they gain, and what they lose restriction-wise.
You can go with the second printing, same thing.
Yep. So essentially, the information's in the Player's Handbook for you if you like that. If not, go with your own.
Yeah.
It's your world. Your players are living in it.
It's your world. Sorry, I just had to throw that in there.
We're just living in it.
Yeah. But yeah, we're just paying rent. But yeah.
For questions, if you have anything else, feel free to call us back.
Yeah, call us back or mail us at thacoshammer@gmail.com. And the number?
405-806-0555.
Thank you, Brian, for those friggin' 2 voicemails. You're going to make me work this week. Okay. Let's get on to people skills.
The face is familiar.
It's mine.
And so it is.
Oh, yes, of course. It stands out a mile, doesn't it? He's so common.
A little lady comes in here and starts throwing her butt around. What is that supposed to do?
All right, forget I said anything.
Maybe I will.
Well, that's pretty good.
Don't tell me you weren't looking at it.
Well, that's not half bad.
She's giving it right back to you.
People skills.
People skills, Dwarven Battle Rager.
Yep.
Last show we did the Blade Singer. Let's do the dwarf part.
Yeah, see what I did there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see a Battle Ranger talking like Randy Savage.
And
yeah. To the mountain.
Bonesaw is ready.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Battle Ranger. It's in the complete Dwarves Handbook.
Yes.
Chapter 64. Total dead sexiness.
Complete Book of Dwarves. What was the page again?
Page 54.
This has to be the most worn section of any of my complete handbooks ever. It's been open more than any page except for maybe the spells page in the Player's Handbook. But this page is the most pressed open. This book, if I set it on its spine and let it go, it opens Battle Rager.
Well, geez. Well, we know where your bread is buttered, don't we, Corey?
Yes, we do. With a little bit of a gut shaker.
Yeah.
Let me give a little visual on the Battle Rager for folks, and I'm going to use another game system for that. Role play, the first edition cover. Seen that dwarf on there chopping the hell out of, an orc or something that looks like he just came from a death metal concert? That's a Battle Rager.
Yep.
Right there.
Yep, pretty much. And the kit was actually made because of Thibbledorf Puent. Which
and the brigade.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if you don't know who that is, it happens to be one of our Salvatore's created characters from the what series was that in?
The Driz stuff?
Yeah.
I don't think was he in the trilogy? The Dark Elf trilogy?
Actually, no. You know what?
He wasn't.
No, actually, no. He was. It was when the Drow were going to start. The Drow were attacking Brunor's.
Third book.
Yeah.
Okay, Sojourn.
Yeah.
No. Homeland. Anyways. Yeah.
Not counting when he was running around asking the mage people with the werewolf buddy to bite him, please, 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 bite him.
Yes, they are bat-ass crazy. That's the thing. They believe they've been touched by a dwarven deity. Now, they've
been touched, all right.
Oh yeah, you ain't kidding. But yeah, madness and irrational behavior are commonly associated with battle ragers. That's why even their own kind give them a wide berth, because they don't know when they're just gonna snap and just start, punching people with their spiked gauntlets and things like that.
They get bigger when they get raged.
Yes, they do.
They do. I mean, I'm looking at it. They're foaming at the mouth. Their eyes bug out.
Yeah.
And
these would be the bouncers at a Death Claw concert.
Death Claw. Yep.
I mean, they scare berserkers.
Yeah, berserker. Yeah, berserker.
Berserker goes whining like a little girl.
Yeah.
In front of these guys.
Baby, I mean, the thing is that the killing rage that they're in and the berserk rage that berserkers have, it's almost exactly the same, but dwarven battle ragers are just nastier.
They take it up to 11.
Oh, yeah, try 13. But I mean, they go into, the thing is that when they are fighting, they can't try to control their rage. They will just go. They will just snap. And they get into a fight, and sure enough, as it's going on, they have to start making wisdom checks.
You know what's so funny?
Or not that. I mean, when they go into a rage, they need to check.
Well, they have to make a wisdom check to get out of it.
Yeah, to come out.
The funny part about it is it says they can have a wisdom no higher than 10.
Yes.
Which makes those wisdom checks real hard.
Real interesting. Let's put it that way. At most a 50% chance to snap out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, most players who play Battle Ragers, they want somebody with like a wisdom of like 5.
If you want to see a picture of how I imagine Battle Ragers before they go into their Berserker Rage, there's an artist by the name of Tim Holloway, and there's a picture he did of a dwarf all by himself with a single axe, and he's surrounded probably by about 100 elves, and the interior circle of elves are all wounded, dead, and or dismembered, and he's spitting on his hands ready to grasp his axe, and they all are in shock and awe and fear of this lone dwarf. That's how I see a Battle Rager.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes, little River Tam. Oh wait,
yeah, exactly.
Was that a Lord of the Rings reference?
No, that was a Serenity reference, but same difference.
I mean, let me put it this way: when Bruce Banner in the Avengers movie said, "My secret is I'm always angry," that's these guys.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah,
they're always at least a little PO'd.
No, not even. They're psychopaths. They're straight up psychopaths where they can just snap at almost any kind of thing with very little provocation, if any.
Hello, I'm an axe-wielding loony.
Mm-hmm.
Point me at your enemies and hope I go that way.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing that really got people into wanting to play Battle Ragers was R.A. Salvatore's description of their armor.
Yep.
From head to toe, it's razored with spikes, with all kinds of nasty places where they don't even need a weapon. I mean, there's a description of a combat in the novel where Bibblendorf basically just jumps on an orc, bears it to the ground, and basically just rubs himself on the orc and lets his armor kill it.
Yeah, the description of their armor is, if everybody knows what fish scales look like, they go down, or scale mail, they all angle downward, kind of like shingles on a roof. If you took a shingled roof and turned it in reverse, those scales would poke out and hang out. That's their armor. They wear scale mail upside down so that the spikes are actually pointed
like
out.
the shredder.
Okay. Here's breaking it down. Their secondary skills, no such thing.
No.
Yeah,
they're battle ragers. Period.
Yeah, they just
but they do have non-weapon proficiencies: endurance, good; intimidation, of course; and singing.
Yes.
Because they're drunken singing sots if they can't be fighting.
Yeah, that's basically it. And they will break into song while they're fighting.
Right.
just to screw with not even just to screw with the enemy, but that's just what they do. And that's when their opponents start, at the very least, edging away from them. They'll start going, and they'll say, okay, let's go attack that normal-looking squad of dwarves over there. Let's leave these guys alone.
Right.
Yep.
And if you don't have access to a good library of drunken sea chanties, then yes, go get yourself some Death Clock albums and use some of theirs.
and of course, then you have then you have to sing. Yeah, then you have to sing it as in modern heavy.
Here's something I don't understand.
What's up?
Their weapon proficiencies. Okay,
Yeah.
That's pretty obvious.
Mm-hmm.
Battle Ragers must specialize in battle axe, single or two-handed, and warhammer. Warhammers are thrown at enemies while charging, usually accompanied by a battle cry such as "Stitch that goblin." They cannot start with any other ranged weapon proficiency. Okay, any other, and it's forbidden to learn to or use a ranged weapon. Unthinkable missile weapons are cowards' toys.
Correct.
Well, you're throwing a hammer.
Yeah,
that's a ranged
weapon.
Yeah, that doubles as a melee weapon. That's why.
It's a melee weapon you're going to go pick up and continue to melee with.
Yeah.
Okay, I've just imagined this
also
one
known as that. They can also. I'm sure that there are battle ragers out there trying to figure out exactly how to specialize in thrown weapon battle rager.
Exactly.
Because it's all over the place.
I've seen a battle rager with like a bandolero of hammers.
Yeah, I can see that.
Just start throwing them while they're running into battle.
Yeah, while they're charging. Exactly.
Yeah. And look at it this way: if you really want to get freaky about it, give them a range increment of 1 and tie chains to them, and suddenly you're playing God of War with a shorty.
Oh God.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's another way to look at a battle rager.
Yeah, I could see that. No, or better yet, the chains are his armor, and he just starts undoing them, and the chain gets longer and longer. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
But these are
some you guys you keep at the edge of the camp by themselves.
You camp about half a mile away if you have to.
Yeah.
Because if they're not fighting, they're drinking.
God help you if you're the courier from the general.
Mm-hmm.
Who has to tell him to go into battle or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, nobody wants to give me...
I mean, let's put it this way. These guys are so badass, the only thing they really will drink is a concoction they make themselves called Gut Shaker.
Consists of fermented goat's milk, unused alcohol from under the bar, just a little bit of dirt, maybe some orc blood.
Something. Who knows what's in it?
They are the only creatures known to drink Gut Shaker without becoming violently ill.
Even other dwarves, for that matter.
That's right.
Yeah.
Put it this way: you can kill a battle rager with a Finger of Death spell, but if he makes a save, he's not going to die until after his killing rage ends.
Yeah.
So essentially, battle ragers are Greek, and they drink ouzo.
And
no one else drinks it because they'll get sick.
Exactly. Wow. Yeah, that's a very good way of putting it. But yeah.
This is Mordor! Yeah.
Yeah.
A silent spell will prevent him from entering the rage, but he'll attack the character who cast the spell if you can tell who it was.
Yeah, and you don't know what he's saying because he's silenced.
If not, he will attack all who get in his way.
Yeah.
And if you really ever hated the DM who likes to throw the sleep spell on the party, you're immune.
I mean, do you really want to be the one who has to give the Hulk the cooldown hug?
No.
You know,
that's
basically what
that's
you
what
do.
we have Betty. That's what we have Betty Ross for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said about the only ones who could do it is her or Jennifer.
Yeah. 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 Soothe the savage beast. Exactly.
Yeah. I'm looking at the killing range. Oh my goodness. He gets immunity to like about a dozen spells.
Yep.
And a +4 saving throw for a dozen more.
Yep.
Not only that, when he goes into his battle rage, his face becomes twisted and he grows in size and girth, height, and his muscles swell and his body expands.
Dragon Ball anyone?
And that is why he gets armor that is a little big for him.
Yeah. Yeah, because, you have to accommodate for the additional mass.
I mean, it's not like he's got purple pants.
Yeah.
Now, of course, it's not all bells and whistles and lovey-dovey hugging right here because there are downsides to the Battle Rager. Yes, just like a Berserker, they can be a little out of control and can be a threat to the party.
Tell us about it.
Especially if, say, you do anything in combat that the Battle Rager could misinterpret as an attack from a party member. He has to make an intelligence check, or he will treat that party member as another one of the enemies.
You know,
he may
like
not go to them first, but they will keep them on the list of things to resolve when the fight is done.
You know, like Cure Light Wounds. I'm just your cleric, buddy, coming to heal you. Are you trying to cast a spell on me?
Yeah.
No. Like, say you wanted to get through because you cannot pass through your friend's hex or square to get to that location, and you shove the Battle Rager aside to make a clear spot, or, toss the dwarf! Yeah, they might consider that aggressive.
Or in the case of the very unlucky, a fumble where you hit him by mistake.
Ooh. Yeah, hurt the Battle Rager at your own risk.
Get in his way at your own risk. Fight alongside him at your own risk.
And while in his rage, he is immune to KO results from punching and wrestling and takes only half damage from bare-hand attacks, which is kind of typical.
Yeah.
Now,
martial artists don't do well against Battle Ragers.
As is the Berserker, he is oblivious to pain, which means the DM once again rolls for his hits.
Yeah.
And his damage.
Yeah, keeps track of the damage he takes, and if he comes out of it and he's in the negative.
You do not know what his hit point status is until after the battle.
Exactly.
When you go into the rage, you gain, 10 extra hit points?
Yep.
Yes.
And then at the end, those 10 hit points come off.
Yes.
Once the rage is over, you lose all of your advantages, including the 10 hit point bonus. This could cause him to die instantly or collapse unconscious if he has 0 or less hit points remaining.
Yep.
You go from singing to your god to about ready to meet him.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. And the taunt spell is automatically successful.
Yeah. So if there's a Kender in the party and he taunts the Battle Rager, guess what's going to happen?
Yep. That's why we carry him for bait.
Yeah. There's going to be Kender fillets very shortly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the Kender, folks. Play it at your own risk.
Especially alongside the Battle Rager.
Now, there is a Battle Rager Lite version out there if you'd like a little bit more self-control. There's the clerical version called the Vindicator, which we will go into at another time.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
And now we need to go into people skill. Rule 0.
One would think you've been doing this all your life.
We'll remember you said that.
I know. I'm sure you hate me just enough.
Rule 0.
Rule 0. PC Alignment Part 1. We got more parts to this. PC Alignment Part 1. How do you play it as a player?
Yeah.
Very well.
Well, I try to. I do my best.
Yes. How about you guys? I'm sure you guys are honest about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, as far as I'm concerned, usually, you want to know what? When we just got done talking about, we're talking about Night Below, and we were talking about Book 3. There's a section in it about, like I said, about where you have to partner up with evil powers in order to defeat a greater evil.
Right.
Now, the author refers to neutral good characters as pragmatists. Just people who will do whatever is necessary to achieve the most good. That's the way I play neutral good. Chaotic good, the best example I can think of right now for those who watch True Blood, Alcide, the werewolf. That is chaotic good behavior if I've ever seen it. He goes by.
Did you just admit in public that you like True Blood?
I love True Blood, actually.
All right.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, and he is,
everywhere.
Wolverine is chaotic good. Sometimes chaotic neutral.
Actually, he's a chaotic good Battle Rager if you want to get into it.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, those are the kind of examples. Tom Baker is the fourth Doctor. That's chaotic good.
My example for chaotic good has been Popeye.
Yeah, Popeye works. Popeye definitely works.
He knows good from evil, and he knows evil when he sees it.
Yep, and it's usually in the form of Bluto.
Yeah.
But you playing chaotic good is just basically just you're a good person, but you go by your own code. You don't always follow in others' footsteps. You blaze your own trail. Lawful good. Now this is more the sticking point, because through the years people play lawful good like lawful stupid. Lawful good. Another good example of lawful good and a paladin actually is Michael Carpenter in the Harry Dresden novels.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that is like the best example of a paladin I've ever seen. Paxinarian, another one.
Even when Harry was running around corrupted and dabbling a bit in the coins, the denarian coins, demon possession, he was still able to work with him and didn't smite him from the face of the earth just because he's a little touched. Okay? Paladins can redeem others just as easily as they can smite them.
Yes. My opinion of the best example of lawful good that recently, well, it's been 10 years. I can't believe it's been friggin' 10 years. But the most recent one that I can think of that a lot of people know about, Shepherd Book from Firefly. Lawful good. He's not lawful stupid. And he doesn't kill anybody in that show, but he will take out a knee. He'll take out a knee for the good of the party, but he won't kill anybody. Yeah. That's lawful good.
Yeah, that's pretty.
And Malcolm, chaotic good.
Yeah.
Core, chaotic good. Sometimes neutral.
Okay.
Yeah, with a couple of tendencies here and there, but nobody's of a piece. There have been like motivational posters,
tons of them, tons of them,
referring to the 9 alignments. I mean,
I like the one with the 9 alignments of Batman.
I have that one. Yeah.
Batman will kick you in the head for having ice cream.
I like the Star Wars one with Darth Vader as lawful evil. I will bring order to the universe if I have to choke the shit out of everyone to do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. I mean,
but again, as a player, the alignments are a good guideline. They're supposed to give you your baseline both for morals and for conduct in civil society or outside of it. Yeah, but again, it is not. And let me say it one more time from the high seat. It is not a license to sit there with the dice in your hand and say, I'm going to go this way because my alignment says so. Yeah. Because I'm chaotic neutral.
None of those.
No, not. Wrong. You're doing it wrong. I'm going to beat you with a friggin' 2x4. You're doing it wrong.
Wow.
I know, if you're chaotic neutral is the only alignment the RPG, I mean, other than the evil alignments, the RPGA outlaws for player characters.
Yes, with good reason. Because
good reason, just a bunch of stupid-ass players who don't know how to behave.
That's
the problem with the problem with the description of chaotic neutral. I can't believe we're getting into an alignment argument. I've seen 100-page forum threads on this, but
we're not arguing.
You wrote the notes.
Sorry, discussion. I know. But the problem with chaotic neutral is, and what people don't understand is, you'll be walking with your party, and all of a sudden on a whim, your character's like, "I'm taking my armor off. I'm going to be a farmer." Wait, what? He'll get 7 steps away and be like, the next day, he's like, you know what? I think I want to be a fisherman.
No. That's not. Yeah, I've seen people who do it like that. That's not it. Like I said, if a player wants to play chaotic neutral in my world, I say sit your ass down and watch Pirates of the Caribbean, the first movie. Watch Jack Sparrow. That's chaotic neutral to me, because he's everything he does is selfish. He will do good things, because it will benefit him in the long run. He will do evil things because it will benefit him. Yeah, that's his only thing, and he doesn't care which side of good or evil he's on, as long as he benefits from it.
Oh, he does have his Han Solo moment.
Yes.
Again, that's because he's chaotic neutral. If you look at the 9 alignment spectrograph.
Yeah.
Okay, chaos. He's very much into the individual freedoms, does not want to be bound. Yeah, good, got it covered.
Yep.
As far as evil goes, between good and evil, he's neutral. So he kind of floats in the middle, goes a little both ways, doesn't really overcommit to either one. He does not play kick the puppy today and pet the baby tomorrow, and then punch the baby the day after that, and feed the baby the day after that.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he does not. You don't do extremes. You might do a little occasional weirdness, but you don't bind yourself by it. And a real good example of dealing with this comes from the explanations of things that you find in, say, your Palladium systems where they talk about alignments, because they have the good alignments, the evil alignments, and the selfish alignments.
Yes. I was
Because there is
going to bring that up.
in their opinion.
Yeah.
And Baron
here's
is an excellent
the explanation.
Hold on. Stop. Okay. All right, finish your point, Fawn.
That was it.
Okay, go ahead, Corey.
The description of chaotic neutral in the book says, chaotic neutral characters believe there's no order to anything, including their own actions. That doesn't mean for their own benefit. With this as a guiding principle, they tend to follow whatever whim strikes them at a moment. Mm-hmm. They have been known to cheerfully and for no apparent reason gamble away everything they have on the roll of a single dice. They are almost totally unreliable. In fact, the only reliable thing about them is that they cannot be relied upon.
Correct.
So that doesn't say that they're going with a purpose of being whatever they want to benefit themselves. Mm-hmm. So using him as an example of chaotic neutral is okay, but saying he is the template, he is the archetype of chaotic neutral, I don't agree with. Because they say for no apparent reason this guy is going to look over at a beggar and go, dude, you need these 75 plat in my bag. Here, I think you should have these. And walk away. Mm-hmm. I'm not adventuring anymore. I think I'm going to go pick my toes for 3 weeks. These guys will do whatever strikes them whenever they want, which is why it is banned from my campaigns, because people will not play it right. I'm not disagreeing with you guys. I'm just saying I don't think that he is the archetype of chaotic neutral. Mm-hmm. It's for people who don't give a beep what they do in the game. It's the guy that, sits at the D&D table and he's like, all right, we're totally going to sneak into this room. Okay, I'm going to turn around and take my pants off and I'm going to restitch my knee in my pants. Wait, what? We're battling orcs here. Oh, I know, but I'm going to stitch my pants because it needs done.
As with every alignment, there's different flavors of it.
Yeah, different interpretations. It's true.
There are many sour flavors of many alignments.
Yes.
Chaotic neutral being one of the worst offenders. Lawful good being another worst offender.
I'd say probably second. It used to be flipped around the other way, but I've seen too many people playing chaotic crazy.
Chaotic evil also does not mean ludicrous psychopath out there to be a psychopath.
It does not.
One of the dangerous alignments out there, as far as impacting the game world, if you're doing it right, is either lawful evil or more menacingly neutral evil.
Really? My opinion is true neutral.
The true neutral is hard to play.
That is the most dangerous class.
Alignment
To play, because depending on how extreme you take the alignment for the character itself, not saying your definition of the alignment, but for this character, I'm playing a forest druid. I'm being attacked by orcs. 75 orcs are attacking my grove. I'm going to help these fighters take out the orcs, these 15 fighters. Orcs get down to 15. I stop. Why? Balance has been met.
See, that's the problem.
And again, you can't run the numbers situation by situation. And again, you got to look at it kind of more in a macro thing, okay? In the worlds of D&D, generally it's good versus evil, and guess what? Good's not winning.
Right.
There are 99 alternate realities of the same campaign world. The evil overlord's plan is working most of the time, and you are the heroes who are keeping your reality from falling into that darkness.
Agreed.
So even your neutral characters can still work. It's not so much to let good triumph, but you don't want to let evil crush everyone either.
Right? Yeah, what I wanted to finish saying was that you take your neutral characters and to play them correctly, you need to look at the world as a whole, not just your small section of the planet. You got to look at it as saying, well, if I kill these 75 orcs here, they might have killed 75 humans 3 countries over. So I'm actually still balancing. So I'm playing with the party. What I was saying is it's one of the most dangerous, depending on if you have a player who knows how to play it correctly.
Well, yeah, that's what it always comes down to in the end, whether or not the player is going to play the alignment correctly, and especially the alignment in regard to his class. I mean, we've seen that too many times. We've heard too many stories about, you know, the lawful good paladin doing something so ridiculously either stupid or obstinate that it just basically kills the game. The chaotic neutral character doing things to just screw with the party or screw with the other players just because. And then if he gets yelled at, then, what? I'm chaotic neutral. It's like, no, you're being, it's like we said in the last episode.
Be a D, don't be a dick.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. That's rule 0. Don't be a dick. But
And hey, there are innumerable ways to track how any given alignment is being played wrong.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. There's so many different levels and nuances of each of the alignments. You can't.
What people forget is that there are also a innumerable number of ways for a person to take a given alignment and play it right.
Yeah.
It's not any one way. It's not in 3 ways. Yeah. There are shades of all kinds of gray on how you're applying that alignment to that character's background, to that class.
Yeah.
The game world and society you're playing in.
Yeah, but the thing is that most players don't go that far with it, even though they should, especially depending on if it's a class that's dependent upon it keeping a certain alignment, like a ranger or a paladin. But go ahead, Corey. What were you going to say?
No, I was just agreeing with him, saying that there's so many different levels and nuances of the alignments, playing it right, playing it wrong, that to have a full discussion on it and to get everybody to see the same thing is going to be near impossible.
Yeah, it is. It really
because,
is.
you know, I may play mine where I'm going to sit down and stitch my knee in my pants in the middle of the battle because that's what that's what's described to me in the description of the book. But somebody else may think that's wrong and they may think it's a different way. It all comes down to interpretation of what they wrote in the 2nd edition Player's Handbook.
Yeah, that's the thing.
To taking it from there, from your opinion, is going to it's like arguing politics. No one's ever going to win.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend that any given player and any given DM take the time to go take a look at what did they say in 1st edition, what did they say in 2nd, what did they say in 3rd. Look at the different write-ups, how it's evolved.
Right.
Find the bits and pieces that leap out to you. Look at a couple other game systems that have alignments in it. Even as extreme as, okay, we're going to look at Star Wars. You got light side, dark side. You're either on the light side or you fall to the dark side.
I'm a little gray.
Or the Palladium system.
Yeah, the
all those things that have differing descriptions to get you all the tools you need to show the guide for your character's moral and center and ethical behavior, or lack thereof, depending on the game you're playing, and let that be a toolbox, not a prison cell.
Yeah, not a straitjacket. I agree. Did we lose Glenn?
Hi, remember me?
Yeah, you were just...
I'm just sitting here listening to you guys, looking on my phone, and it's like, okay, yeah.
He knows better than to stick his hand in the piranha pit, okay?
I got my own views, but that's okay. You guys are going like a house of fire. So that's alignment for part 1, folks. We will continue this in the next show. How do you feel about alignment? Oh, opening the floodgates on that one. thacoshammer@gmail.com or osrgaming.org or d20radio.org.
Purple Worm.
Purple Nutkin Planet AD&D, Stolen Citadel, and anything else. Yeah, and Twitter and Facebook and any other place I tell Brian to put it.
You ask me, you don't tell me. You're not paying me money.
Woo! 2 snaps and a twist.
Can't touch this. Moving right along.
Yeah, let's go on to Magic Fingers.
Eeny, meeny, chili beanie, the spirits are about to speak.
Well, it just so happens that your friend here is only mostly dead.
Sounds like a lot of supernatural baloney to me.
Supernatural, perhaps. Baloney, perhaps not.
Magic Fingers. Magic Fingers. Boy, I'm glad I don't pay you sometimes.
Now see, you had to just go there. You just didn't let that one lie, could you?
I had to figure out a seg, okay?
Okay.
Let's talk about magic, okay? Like the first level spell, Identify.
Okay, we can do that.
But before we do, we all love Brian.
Aw.
Just wanted to
He's right. They all love you.
Yeah. Can't feel love tonight. Anyway. But go ahead.
Corey's warming. Let me put it that way. Yeah. It's a first level spell. Range 0, components VSM. It lasts one round per level. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was like bam, it happens.
Well, yeah, it's one of those things. Well, it all depends, I believe. As you go up in level with this spell, you're able to identify more than one item. Or
iron per
more
level.
than one property about an item.
Right, and the item does not get a saving throw. Goes up.
Yeah.
And this is also in the Wizard Spell Compendium, correct?
Correct.
Yes, it is. Page 445 of Volume 2.
Okay, good.
The Green Book.
The Green Book.
Yeah,
I hear there's a whole kinds of different flavors of that, too.
Yeah, there are several different variations of that spell.
Right now, we're talking about the original.
Correct.
Magic items can be, of course, identified, just like it says on the can.
Yes. Of course, this spell is basically gives a chance for a mage casting it to identify what, items that have a magic enchantment to determine what it is, or not so much what it is, but give clues as to what it might be. Excuse me.
And you get 10% per level of the caster to a maximum of 90% of getting a piece of information out of this item.
Correct.
And it goes on to what you have to do to prepare the item. It takes 8 hours, this, that, and the other thing. All that stuff the DM needs to know, but the players, I just want to find out what it does. How long will it take?
Right. You see,
How long it will take is the really fun part.
Yeah, 8 hours. Which is like, to me, I understand why they kind of did it, but when it comes to that one casting that spell, I hand wave that part. Because
Mr. Carter.
What is it, Rorschach?
Can I put identify in my ring a spell storing?
No.
And just go with it. If I do like the 8-hour casting to get into the ring of spell storing.
I'd do it.
Well, actually, yeah.
I'd do it if he did the 8 hours.
Yeah, if he did everything. Yeah.
But dig this. That only
you haven't purified the item.
That's true.
But dig this. You can only find out a function of the magic item, which is cool if you have like a wand of fireballs or a frost wand or something. What if you have some kind of major artifact that has like a whole Swiss Army knife of stuff?
You're going to be spending several days determining exactly what it is.
Want to wonder?
Oh, God.
What if your wand of chromatic orbs does more
that's
than
a good one.
Yeah. Oh, it fires red orbs the next day. It fires blue orbs. Oh, the next day it fires black orbs.
Yeah. I think this ring of spell storing is colorblind.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that the next thing you want, a ring of chromatic orbs? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, God.
I actually dip a little bit into some of the description of the identify spell and started as the baseline for whatever the question and answer is going to be with the party members over the identification process. I'll start with the first thing you identify, if you identify anything about it at all, is the strength of the item.
Yes.
I don't say multiple bonuses, multiple abilities, multiple anything. I'll simply say, and a lot of that actually comes with, it parallels along with the detect magic, because that also indicates a level of strength and a school, if you've concentrated enough on it or spellcrafted with it. But again, you tell them, okay, it's a moderate powered magic item, or a powerful magic item, or a faint magic item. It is possessed of faint magic. Now, that can be, a moderate item can be a +3 item, and that's it. Or it can be a +1 item with 2 abilities. You don't tell them that.
Exactly.
Unless they further expend charges of identify on exploring the nuances of it as much as you can. And you still try to keep it into vague, descriptive, storyteller terms rather than technical number crunch.
Yeah.
Oh, and it gets better. After you cast a spell and find out what you want to know, you lose, boom, 8 points of Constitution.
Yeah, I dropped that part of it because
which comes back 1 hour of rest for each point, and it drops you below 1, you go unconscious.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, which knocks you out. And, to me, that's just an inbuilt game mechanic to when the players are doing the denouement of the adventure and they got a bunch of magic items, they're trying to find out what they are. To me, it's more along the lines of, I don't care about that. Not anymore. There was a time where I enforced the spell as it was by the book to the letter. Now I don't care. It's like, if you guys are in a place of relative safety where the mage can perform the purification rituals, I'll keep the casting time, but not the constitution drop.
I do like that they changed the material components to that pearl plus an owl feather steeped in wine as opposed to the goldfish.
Yeah.
Which is why
all your goldfish, there you go.
which is why the identify spell for NPC spellcasters is so damn expensive.
Yep.
Yeah, well, think about it. Not every.
What did you say, Corey?
I was going to say not only that, but the spell components itself are fantastic. I mean, they're awesome. If you live on a coast, what about the mountain villages? Where the hell are they getting pearls?
That's a good question.
Same place they get Rocky Mountain oysters.
I knew you were going to I thought about it before he asked the question, and I was like, he's not going to go there. Thank you for reinstating my faith in you, full on. But yeah, it's funny. Nowadays, my veteran players are like, where are we going? Well, we're going up into the mountains to find the mountain dwarves. Okay, stop. Everybody go down to the docks. Find pearls. Like, they know, because I'll be like, okay, who's got pearls? And they're like, really? You're going to go into spell components? I'm like, for this spell? Absolutely. Yeah. Who's got spell components? Who's got pearls?
Yeah,
how they add to this that you can increase the potency of the magic by altering your spell components by, say, using a luck stone in the infusion. And that lets you drill down and get the numbers and be done.
Well, my problem with this spell by going by the vagary of the items, I will admit, when I first started playing D&D, when I first started DMing, I was a Monty Hall DM. I love the idea of magic items. I wanted to see them being used. I wanted to see how somebody might use a Staff of the Magi versus a Ring of the Ram. I wanted to see these items, so I gave them out freely. My problem is now the players that are high level who work through that area when they're like, hey, let's play level 15 module. I got to pull out Uruk. Okay, fine. Let's do it. Now they go, okay, we identify this item. Well, they have so many items that I need to keep track on the level of vagary. And even just normal, parties, if each party has an average of 1 magical weapon and 2 magical items, a party of 4, that's 12 items you have to keep the vagary. Well, I'm going to try to use this. Well, hold on, let me get my 3x5 card. Okay, this item, okay, you know this, but you don't know this. Okay, go ahead and use it. Yeah. It gets time-consuming to the point where I'm like, okay, how many hours are you taking? Well, we have to take a minimum of 8. We're going to take, 24. Okay, we're going to take 2 days to research this item. Fine, here's the full description of the item.
Yeah.
If I say, okay, there's a ring with the symbol of a flame on it, okay, it's a ring of fireballs. Or something of fire. Yeah, of something fire. Okay, we're gonna identify it for 3 days in town at the Sage's Tower that's connected to a library. And we're going to use the purification. Here you go. Auto-identify. This is what you have. Now, if they're in the middle of the woods and they're like, we're going to chop down a tree and use the tree stump as a purification table. All right, now you're getting a little vague. Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? It gets a little tiresome for me, in my opinion, going 12 items, identified vagary levels. It gets tough, dude.
Yeah, I agree.
There are ways to hand wave and work around a lot of that, though, by utilizing the abilities other classes can bring to bear.
Mm-hmm. Right.
A, you can eliminate some of your questions just from the mage side himself if he starts with detect magic. B, take advantage of anyone who can have or has a kit who has or anything remotely resembling the bard's legend lore ability.
Yeah.
C, go to your priest, have your priest crank out his commune spells, and start asking questions.
Yeah, that's what our priest does.
Faster that way.
Yeah, even speak with dead would help you in that case.
Yeah, like, hey, skeleton that we just pulled this ring off of. Dude, what's this ring?
Why should the living disturb the sleep of the dead?
That's not a question. I'm not answering that. I want you to answer my question.
Because I'm a little horny and your decaying body is still here. Oh, God, please don't. Well, then you better tell me what I want to know. Sorry, was that out loud?
Wow. You get all John McClane on us.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah. The medieval Jack Bauer interrogation technique.
Something like that.
Yeah, oh my boy.
You can shorten the load on any particular character with the identify process just by covering some bases.
Yep.
You can have other avenues or venues available. You can send off and take advantage of scribes and sages and just delay your report back. Night Below has a whole slew of handouts of reports back you get from sages on weird-ass magic items you find all throughout the campaign. Yep.
Yeah, that's a lot of the guys. I'll use that specific thing for lessening the amount of gold my players find in troves. I'm like, oh yeah, there's a sage in town. Yeah, he'll identify for you perfectly for 400 gold. Wait a minute, it doesn't cost that much for identify.
Yeah, it does for him.
For you, it does. Oh, okay. I guess we're gonna pay this guy $400. How many items do you have? 15.
If you want that identify spell in a Ring of Spell Storing, you can get the cut rate version from the first level apprentice who's trying to make a precedent.
Yeah, there you go.
Or you can get the 18th level Archmage version of it, or the 18th level Archmage's Walmart version of it, where he's going to memorize it as a 5th level spell and cast it that way.
Then there's that.
Yeah, could
Cool.
be right, could be wrong. That's what you're paying me.
Yeah, I could be wrong, but I doubt it.
Yeah. Identify spell. You got stories. Tell us about it. thacoshammer@gmail.com. Go have fun with it. In the meanwhile, we're going on a snipe hunt.
Yeah.
If you only had a living brain.
What do you think? Escaped gorilla?
Listen, you're making enough noise to wake up the dead. I don't have to wake him up. He's up.
It's time for a snipe hunt.
Snipe hunt.
Uncle Glenn, what's a snipe?
I think it's related to this creature. The Yunti.
Oh.
Snake people.
Yep, snake peoples.
When the lizard men just won't cut it.
Oh, when your party is hacking through tribes of lizard men without breaking a sweat, that's when you throw these things at them. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're very, very, very bad.
Yes, chaotic evil.
Really, yes, really, really bad.
Yes, sir.
Really bad, and I'm just vamping until I get to the page. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, these critters are on page 169 of the Monstrous Manual. 369 of the Monstrous Manual.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Near the end.
Yes, near the end.
Funny how the Y works that way.
Yep.
Yeah. You find them in tropical jungles. Fortunately, they're very rare.
Yeah. With good reason.
You find 1 to 4. I love that. Genius level.
Intelligence, yep.
Intelligence. And, 6 to 9 hit dice.
Correct.
Yay.
Mm-hmm.
And, by the way, you can actually sometimes find them in cities.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, there are cities that full of these things.
And this is the downside of adventuring in Hyboria.
Yeah.
You're going to the wrong place.
And for those of you who are fans, you can do this or not. They are psionic.
Yes. Yes, they are, and they can be a major pain in the behind to deal with if you do run them with psionics.
And, well, even if you don't run them with psionics, you can use these as spell-like abilities.
You could. You certainly could.
Yes.
The best part is that no matter how many of them there are, almost all of them are going to look different. Because there are 3 different types of them. There are the purebloods, half-breeds, and abominations.
Yep.
Yep. Purebloods can pass for human 80% of the time.
They just got a little something funny about them.
Exactly. The half-breeds are the ones that you're the most familiar with because those are the ones that are part human, part snake.
Kind of like Nagas.
Yes. Yeah, except these ones can swim.
Nagas with arms.
Right? Yeah, with arms, wielding weapons, that kind of thing.
And the abominations are the ones you get where you're like, it's mostly snake with a human head.
Yeah.
It's hordlings with a snake theme. There you go.
Yep, yeah. Pretty much.
Yep, that's right. What gets me is the purebloods, despite their name, are the low men on the totem pole.
Yes, yeah, it's almost exactly.
Which is surprising because they're basically the face for civilized areas.
Correct. Correct.
I mean, they're the ones who say, hey, why don't you come down here and meet some of my friends while we sacrifice you?
But yeah, the abominations are the ones that are truly blessed and would be the ones that were the leaders of a city, a community of Yuan-Ti. If the purebloods ever wised up and say, hey, you ain't got nothing without me. But that's the city part. I mean, they live in jungles and things like that, so they can do the hierarchy type of thing. They even have a nice little chart to find out what exactly do the half-breeds and abominations have on themselves. Correct. Flexible torsos, snake heads, no legs with a snake tail, snakes instead of arms. Now imagine that. Instead of them having arms, they're just 2 more snakes coming off them. I'd make them poisonous. Just to
yes.
Now you're getting into eldritch abominations.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
There are constrictors, there are venomous ones, there are giant ones, the piranhaconda version of them.
Yep, exactly.
Well, they range to about 10 feet long.
Yeah, they can be 10 feet long. 9 hit dice, 9 hit dice, 10 feet long. Yeah, these things are huge. But go ahead, Corey. What were you gonna say?
No, nothing. I'm waiting for the Glenn. Have you used them part? These things are some of the funnest creatures to play with because, you can use these things till you're blue in the face and you'll never get bored with them.
No. There's more than enough variety, and the players, as soon as they see them, they'll all start developing an Indiana Jones style phobia to them.
Well, I think the most dangerous part about them is their intelligence.
Yeah,
they're genius. Which means they're going to be smarter than your average group of orcs hiding out in a fort waiting for humies to come by. Smash the umis. It's not going to happen. These things are going to be methodical, tactical, traps. Deadfall.
If you want to have an example of just what one Yuan-Ti can do.
Yes.
Tulsa Doom, Robert E. Howard, Conan.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yep.
That's just one. Put him in a pack or put him in a city.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't want to be in that city for very long because you're going to end up as food.
Yep. And with psionics on their side and a smattering of spells.
Yeah.
For some of them, mostly the abominations. You better have your act together.
Yeah, you better be of high level if you're going to tackle these guys. One of them can take out a 5th to 6th level party. I'd say probably as be a challenge to it. Because it has a lot of abilities and different ways of inflicting pain on PCs that it would be difficult.
And you can parlay with these things because they speak common.
Yes, they do.
They have a genius level IQ. They can speak probably common, Elven, whatever else they learn from the slaves that they keep because they know not to out-hunt their areas, as it says in the description.
Yep, very right.
Hey, food, teach me Elven. I'm a genius. I can handle it.
I will keep you alive. I'll keep you alive if you teach me Elven.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can understand that. And you're never going to find just one either.
No. You'll find 1 to 4, a city full of Yuan-Ti. I don't even want to think about that. That's just nastiness.
You want to know what I did with them?
What?
Brian? I have a small kingdom that's being ruled by the Yuan-Ti. There's 2 human settlements that they raid on the regular basis. What my players don't know is that the kingdom is actually being run by 2 queens. They're actually Medusa.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Greater Medusa.
So I have two greater Medusa sisters ruling a kingdom of Yuan-Ti. Here the players think, they're all Yuan-Ti, no problem. Wait, why did Fred just turn to stone?
Fred said the wrong thing.
Ouch.
Yeah.
And maybe a couple of Madar consorts just to be.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yep.
They're pure. They're pure bead Yuan-Ti. Don't worry about them. They're not Medusa. No, I don't know. They're not Madar.
Oh gosh. How about you, Full On? Have you had truck with these things before? I'll take that as a yes.
An overwhelming yes. Yeah.
Would you like to elaborate on that?
I just did. You weren't listening?
You don't speak Yanti? What's wrong?
Sorry, God.
No. There are many and numerous. It's a good, interesting creature that can crop up either in a number of environments, not just necessarily your jungles. They can come up into odd ruins because they don't just leave, or specialized locations. They can end up in the Underdark. They can end up in anywhere you got snakes. You can have Yanti on the planet. Just blatantly put it that way. Throw them out in the desert. Add them into any classic module. Take them out of any classic module. If you're not going to kill everybody, you can roll them around, taste like chicken, and have a wonderful time with it.
Yep. And if you're not too fussy about your pantheons, stick them in the jungle in a temple of their own making, worshiping something like a Quetzalcoatl.
Oh, I got
Quetzalcoatl or Set.
Yeah, that's what I've got going on in my Mystara campaign. In Ilarum, there is a part of that nation which is basically Egyptian. And if you have an Egyptian setting, you've got Set. Because Set is the main bad, evil, badass god in that pantheon. Which means
he's also in your Iberian setting if you're going Conan.
Yeah, exactly. If you have Set, you've got snakes. You got snakes, you have Yuan Ti.
You have your monster empire in Eberron if you're doing a 2E import of Eberron.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Okay, Yanti, tell us how you use it, thacoshammer@gmail.com. And now we must move on to products. What am I saying? That's what I'm saying.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, well, the circle is complete. We move on to DM's Rag.
That's quite a story.
I think it would be fun to run a newspaper.
And here it comes, right over the old plate.
The DM's Rag. DM's Rag, Dragon number 37, The Mud Sorcerer's Tomb. Now, this is from the Magical issue 37, which we also reviewed Whiteboard of Kilfey out of that. And I understand there is a Yanti adventure in here, too.
Yes, called Surfers of the Sands.
Yes, we must get to that sometime.
If I'd had my druthers pulling up these show notes, I would have put that in, but
it's okay. That's fine. I mean, who was the person on the last show who wanted to?
I forget his name.
Mr. Hickman.
Mr. Hickman.
Right. Yeah,
Mr. Hickman.
Welcome to the return to your email as we discuss the odd topic.
You thought we forgot, did you? The Mud Sorcerer's Tomb was written by Mike Schell.
Mm-hmm.
And it's for a party of 6 to 8 characters of 10 to 14 level.
Mm-hmm.
So it's no cakewalk.
No, not even close.
Now,
go ahead.
We shied away from this because he mentioned the main inspiration was the Tomb of Horrors.
Yeah. When that happens, it's going to be pretty nasty.
But then I sat down and read it,
mm-hmm.
and okay, it's a great challenge.
Yeah,
and you can die, but it's got some really it's got some really neat puzzles and role playing stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first time ever in a non-altered printed piece of D&D publication, you may now say to your players, you may most likely be eaten by a mudgrue.
Yeah. Nice work reference.
Yes. Mudgrue, or they may be able to take the mud ship.
Yeah, then there's that.
I love that mud ship. It's like, okay, get out of the dungeon real easy. You just sail through the walls, and you're out.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck. You're going to need it.
Yeah, it belongs to a couple of, demons or something. They'll be looking for it. Mm-hmm. Anyway, the Mud Sorcerer's Tomb is kind of interesting because it deals with the euphonymous Mud Sorcerers who worshipped a god named Jazul.
There's no Dana, only Jazul.
Yes. Jazul is a god of water and earth, which makes mud.
Yeah.
And they basically were a chaotic cult that fell out of favor hundreds of years ago, and law came in. And the Iron Circle, which was the inner circle of the Jazul worshiping people, decided, okay, we're going to go into stasis until, time comes when we were going to come back and our minions and minions' children will release us again.
Right.
Now, I like about this is this gives a perfect reason why there are puzzles and traps in there, other than
some crazy engineer decided, there needs to be a pit right here. Oh, I think spikes would adorn this wall lovely and fix up the feng shui. Yeah, there's actually reasons. I agree.
Yeah,
there are reasons. These people are in stasis, and these are the instructions to their followers on how to get to them to release them from stasis when the time comes.
Yeah.
A, prove you're worthy. B, keep us safe. Go.
Yeah,
yes.
Exactly.
Now, what happened was the Purge came along. They had instructions, but the Paladins and stuff went through and burned all that.
So they don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah, so the knowledge was lost, and, now. Yeah.
And now you are going in there to see what and this is just one Mud Sorcerers too.
Yeah. Yeah, but this one, well, let's just be glad there's not another one, because this thing is deadly.
Solos. Deadly, but interesting and very rewarding doing it right. Mm-hmm. Now, okay, I have a problem with it because I don't know if it was the time it was written or the way we were playing the game at that time. What?
What,
Corey?
No, then I know where you're going. Go ahead. I'm agreeing.
There are a lot of things in here that will stop play dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
because I think he was a little too clever with his puzzles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it's not only that, but the deadliness of it too. You can see where he got his references for the Tomb of Horrors. It's just, it can stop a campaign at a total death, total party wipe.
And I was talking about it to BK.
Yeah, and also as an homage to the Tomb of Horrors, there is a gauntlet of femininity, masculinity in there, or not gauntlet, a girdle.
That's
but it was on one of the corpses. Yes,
exactly. I'm just like, you just couldn't resist, could you?
But if I turn it into a headband, do I just look like Fabio?
With the breasts, maybe.
It had things like. It has things
Fabio's getting old. He's got those.
Yeah, well, he is rather built, yes. But
they talk like there's certain keys that get you into certain areas or keep certain things from happening. What's funny about it is to get to these keys. I mean, okay, there are clues. But some of them are either you gotta be like Sherlock Holmes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Really observant or really lucky. They've got like these bas relief heads that look like Ferengi.
Yes.
Welcome to the tomb and treasure vaults of Ferengana. We keep them on this primitive planet.
Yes, I got a whole chest of gold pressed platinum.
I mean, one like you got to go to one of the carved heads and stick your hand in his ear.
Yeah.
To find the key, or another one in his mouth. What is mouth? I love the one where it says it's mouth. He's got an expression of like pain with his teeth clenched, and the mouths are hinged open. You open the mouth, you go in there, you find the key, you turn the switch, and the mouth closes.
Right.
On your arm.
Yeah.
Biting it off.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just
this was made for Corey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this adventure will maim characters, it will kill characters, it will disfigure characters easily.
As a DM, one of my favorite books from first edition was the Monsters Manual 2.
Really?
Okay, why?
The artwork, most of Holloway stuff, but one of my favorite monsters in there that is very little used is in this adventure, Theanis.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Olzada. Yeah. It's just a cool character that when I read Theanis, I just think about Monsters Manual 2, and I'm like, yeah, good book. I mean, There's some monsters in here that you don't see. I mean, you can just close your eyes and grab into a module bin, and you can grab something with orcs in it, or golems, or goblins. They're using like little to not unknown monsters in here. You're not fighting your average basic. That's one of the things I liked about it.
Mm-hmm. But the thing that kind of griped me about it was, the fact that things aren't immediately apparent.
Yeah.
Which is okay because it's okay for the players to think.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying the players are stupid on the most part.
They have to be exceedingly clever is what
they have to be really, really. It's like that one GM who's got his pet traps and dungeon that it's like
Stop putting down the murder hole till you try it.
No, but I've had GMs where they put a puzzle to get any further in a room with sticks and all this other stuff, and we spent the entire night trying to figure out how to get out of this room.
Yeah, exactly.
And have him sitting there. Well, it's real obvious. Go ahead.
It's not to us. It isn't.
And he won't give it to me. He won't even give us a hint or anything like that. And it's like, if it was real obvious to us, don't you think we wouldn't have spent 4 freaking hours trying to puzzle out this room?
I've done that before, and I feel bad when my well-made plan of a trap room essentially stops the campaign, and then I have, it was bad.
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons why when I try to design things, I kind of, if I can't do the rule of 3, I at least give all my red herrings and whatnot have their own zones. They're not just when you set up a trap and tomb complex.
Yeah.
Oh, you know about the 3
You
clues.
need, one, don't tie yourself to just one way to answer or get to or know anything. You want to give multiple sources, multiple ways, multiple paths for clues, and shove them in your players' faces because they're going to ignore 2/3 of them.
Yeah, that's very true.
Miss them or fail their rolls on them.
Yes, the
also,
3... Go ahead.
You also want to make it so that it's kind of sensical and deliberate where things are.
Yeah.
When you have a tomb, it's either going to be set up to be continually used as they put more dead people in it, or it's going to be set up to break glass, pull the rope, walk out, seal it, and no one ever goes in again.
Right.
Which one's going to be more deadly?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, the one that's being sealed, of course, because they're sealing it against those who will come to the tomb and try to rob it.
Yeah,
right.
the Pharaohs
now, when you
have
have a tomb
Yeah.
that has multiple inlays and outlays and whatnot going on in and around it.
Yeah.
You're going to have your true burial chambers with good, solid protection on them, but are passable because they've got to get in and maintain, do, or whatever. You're going to have your red herrings, your bait to lure people off the path and kill them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
There's a couple here.
What it does.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to apologize for when you fall for it.
Well, they have them in there too, and I don't mind them either.
Yeah, I don't mind those either. It's just one of those where the problem is that, when you create traps that are so intricate and that unless the party does X, Y, and Z in exact the same order at the exact same time,
or stops.
Yeah, exactly. The adventure will come to a halt because unless you put something in there to provide a big enough clue, and I do mean big enough because even the most clever of people sometimes need to be hit over the head with the clue mallet. I'm sorry, it happens. But you're
going to have to borrow a term from another game and say skill challenge.
Yeah.
You want to make a creative, optional solution, variety of ways to solve it. Here's the way a fighter can contribute to answering this problem. Here's the way a thief can contribute to answer 2 or 3 ways they can contribute to resolving this problem, whether it's toughing it out, smarting it out, bypassing it, undercutting it, rebuilding it, tearing it down, breaking it through, whatever.
Yeah.
There should be more than one way to skin every cat.
Yeah.
Okay, let me give you a quick example. Full On sounds like he knows about this. Justin Alexander on the Alexandrian, the blog. outlined what he calls the 3-clue rule.
Mm-hmm.
He identified things in a scenario which he called plot choke points.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of them in here.
Oh,
what they are the choke points where things will stop. Just dead stop if this isn't. You should not do that in an adventure. You should give them at least 3 ways that they could get through this. 3 clues to get through it. And because you don't want choke points. Do you want the adventure to end? No, you don't. Do they? No, they don't.
Yeah. I mean, no, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, keep going.
Yeah. So that's basically what you have to do with this. And now I know there's going to be some old grogs who are going to go, well, I can't help if the players are stupider now. That has nothing to do with it.
That's absolutely.
I would have been frustrated in 1982.
Yeah. I've gone through Tomb of Horrors on several of occasions, and
we go, what?
The first two times were extremely frustrating. I mean, extremely, and
right.
Yeah, it's just one of those kind of things where you've got to. I'm sorry, but the best phrase I can think of when it comes to adventures like this, you have to play to your audience.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. You were finishing your thought. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, you play to your audience. You have to, let's take our AP group, for example. Now I'm not saying that the 4 of you are of a type, because I know you're not. You guys have at least as much experience, if not more than me, playing this game. And the whole thing is that when I bring up an adventure or I'm looking at an adventure to put you guys through, I have to, number 1, look at the kind of party you guys have. Number 2, I have to think about each one of you as a player. And, I'm kind of flying a little blind with you 3, but I kind of have a good gauge on, what I can throw in that it'll be a challenge, but it won't be a frustration.
Right. Well, that's the challenge for any dungeon or any adventure for a DM.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Corey?
No, I was going to get off the trap thing since we've been talking about it. I want to hear about the special things in this module. I want to hear about the mud ship.
Yeah.
And you said you like the mud ship, Glenn, so I want you to tell us about it.
I like the mud ship because you can not only go through water, you can go through earth, and it goes underwater.
Yeah. There's submarine.
Yeah. They said the captain or the quote-unquote captain of the ship, if you find a certain medallion to run the ship, you can go underwater with it, but only you can breathe underwater. Everybody else has to get below decks.
Wow. That's interesting.
But they said if you find the ship, you can just take the ship and just sail right out of the dungeon. It'll go right through the walls and everything.
And that would be cool. And hopefully, it's one of those things where if that player finds that particular amulet, they are able to just get out of there. Like, they can go as far as they want to go, and it's like, okay, I've had enough of this. Let's get the hell out of here.
Right.
Rather than just getting trapped there.
And if they can hold on to it, they can use it to go over the realms. It goes right through like Earth, just like the sea. And it's like there's a prow, and it goes right through the land, and it never disturbs the land.
Wow.
Now the downside is it's owned by a couple of demons.
Yeah, which you would have to.
And they'll be coming look for it because they thought it was going to stay in here with the mud sorcerer.
Yep.
Now, having said all this, I'd still want to run this.
Wow.
Because it is a good adventure.
Yeah. I mean, for players who are a little bit more inclined towards puzzle solving, yes, I agree.
I would do quite a bit of, along the lines of what I was talking about, I do quite a bit of, modifying it.
Yeah, you'd have to. Yeah.
But I still think the base thing is still good and solid. This would be a good... Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it'd be good at least 2 nights of playing. At least. I could probably stretch it out to 3 or 4.
No, I'd say probably this would take. Just because some of the puzzles are so difficult, I'd say probably about 4 sessions.
You really think 4 sessions?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's not very.
Some of us are completists.
Yeah.
Then there's that.
If I'm going to loot the tomb, everything's getting unturned. because something's behind that trap.
Here's the thing. You throw the first face at me, and it takes me 20 minutes, and you hint me out, and I finally get it, and I get it. We get to the second one, it takes me 15 minutes. You got to hint me out, and now I got this one. I know what I'm up for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for being a veteran gamer, now you throw this at a bunch of, you're not going to throw it at a bunch of newcomers because of the high level.
Yeah.
So the player should see the first, man. Yeah, the first two traps or, puzzles should reorient the player's brains to saying, okay, guys, this isn't hack and slash gauntlet. We got puzzles to fix. So it's like you don't hand somebody, a Rubik's Cube and then go, where's the joystick? Where's the attack button?
Oh, God.
They know they're solving a puzzle.
Yeah,
and I think any good player... Go ahead.
I was going to say this is Tomb Raider, not Doom.
Exactly. And as soon as you throw that first or second puzzle at them, their brains are going to switch gears, and they're going to go, okay, now it's time to solve these puzzles. I don't think it's going to take 4 sessions. I think with the good players that have characters at level, 14, 10 to 14, these guys know what they're doing. And you're going to have veterans playing those characters, and you're going to be able to go, okay, guys, we got puzzles to do. Let's do this. Yeah, it's going to take some time because not everybody's as intelligent as the guy that created it or creative or whatever. But I don't think it should take 4 sessions. I'm thinking 2, maybe at the max.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. Yeah, and there is some good combat to be had in here, too.
Yeah. Yep. Some. Not a lot, but some.
Yeah. At the end, there's some real good combat to be had.
Oh, yeah. But again, it comes down to knowing your players again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's also ample opportunity, I'm sure, for just as the players can be struck dumb and stopped cold and going WTF at whatever the puzzle is presented before them, that coin can flip, that worm can turn, and the DM can be on the other side of the screen scratching his head going, oh, crap, how am I going to deal with this?
Exactly.
That's true.
Yep.
But, all in all, I think it's a good camp. I think it's a good adventure.
All right, let's do stars. How many?
All right. I'm sorry, but mine's going to be a little smaller. I'm going to give it 3 out of 5, just simply because of the artwork. I'm not a big Ferengi fan.
I don't blame you. Really. All right, I'm going to do 4 because I can probably do this up into a few really good role playing sessions. Mm-hmm. Yeah, fix a few things here and there, tweak it, and all that kind of stuff. Right. Not that he did not do a good job, but
like we said, he did too good of a job, I think.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, go ahead.
What are you going to give it?
No, I'll go right in between you two. I'll give it 3.5 because, number one, when you're using one of the, if not the deadliest module in first edition Pantheon lore as your template, it's going to be like that. And I would use it too, but I'd have to modify it too, just to make it so that there are different avenues for the party to accomplish what they're setting out in there.
Right. Full on?
I'll go with 3.
Yeah?
Because it probably could have benefited from, I know it was limited a bit by the fact that it was published in Dungeon magazine. If it was released kind of like Tomb Horrors was, where you had your supplement prop map pack, with your pictures and stuff at a larger size and a better resolution or better rendering. So you can say, wham, this is what you see, instead of having to, you're going to have to be doing a lot of photocopying and chopping and turning or trying to describe what you're looking at, which is supposed to be, this is what your players see.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Cool. 3, 3.5, 3, and...
Yeah, we're about 3.25 at the end.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And we are also at the end of it, and we're closing another Splat book.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed you do. And it's been a pleasure, guys. That was a fun one. Yep.
That was good.
Say goodnight, Corey.
Beware of Ferengi fun traps.
Okay. Brian?
Yeah, and look out for the Mud Sorceress. She's not a very nice person, and neither is her sister.
Oh, you're going to give it away, aren't you?
No, that's all I said. I didn't say why they weren't nice, but I did say they weren't nice.
How about you, Full-On? You can say goodbye.
It's been a pleasure, Gamer Nation, and we'll get back with the hammer again.
Oh, yeah, and this is DM Glenn saying we'll see you next time when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer. Bye-bye.
Glenn.
Oh my God! I mean, we could do something with this. I really think so.
Yeah, we could. It's like I said, just some modifications here and there, and yeah, it could be a much better adventure at least.
Oh, more grill.
Yeah.
THACO's Hammer theme is provided by the Diablo Swing Orchestra. You'll find them on Jamendo.com. All other additional music for this episode was provided by Kevin MacLeod. You'll find more of his music on Incompetech.com. Be sure to visit our website at thacoshammer.info. If you have any questions or comments, email us at thacoshammer@gmail.com. Remember, that's an O, not a 0. You can also find us on the second edition forums at osrgaming.org and at purpleworm.org. Or give us a call and leave us a voicemail at 405-806-0555. See you next time when the hammer comes down on THACO's Hammer.